couple council members, but we're going to go ahead and get started. First of all, I want to say welcome everyone to our council meeting. Sometimes we don't get very many visitors, so we're really happy to see you all here. Call the meeting to order, and if you could all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, again, I want to thank everyone for coming in. Can we have a roll call, please? Hold up on the roll call. Okay, we call the roll, please.
Bachman.
Here.
Henning.
Here.
Gorman.
Here.
Merkel.
Here.
Kelly. Here. Lieberman. Stevens.
Here.
I move we excuse Dennis for the few minutes until he gets here.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion to excuse Mr. Lieberman until he gets here. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, thank you, Mr. Gorman and Mr. Henning, for those. And I would like to entertain a motion to appoint a special clerk of courts tonight. Lindsay Dervali is taking the place tonight of our normal clerk, Barb Sims. She's off today. So is there a motion to appoint her?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Gorman, second by Ms. Kelly. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Mr. Lieberman has joined us. Okay. Okay, tonight we have two special presentations. And the first one is the winner of our VIP award presentations, Mr. Kuntz.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, City Council. As you guys know, we do our seasonal holiday VIP every year. This year we had between a half dozen and a dozen properties nominated. I'll be honest, I forget what number this is. Is this four? Four, okay. So for the fourth time, it was a close vote this year, but we are very proud to recognize Kelly Green and Rebecca Foltz from Westbrook Road. If you guys would like to come up here. Mr. Mayor.
Yes, on behalf of our council and our staff and all of our residents, I want to say congratulations again. Yeah, I feel like we're getting to know each other on this, but hey, we sure do appreciate it. It makes a great impression on people that live in our city and the visitors that drive by. As you know, Westbrook's a pretty busy road and everything, so we definitely appreciate you and appreciate you living here and doing what you do at Christmas. Appreciate you. All right, thank you very much. Yeah, very nice. Very nice. There's your plaque. And you guys get those tags.
We did redesign the placard.
I know, I see that. I was like, yay.
You know, after 3 awards, we wanted to mix it up a little bit more. So.
Great, thank you.
Well, thanks again.
Did you ladies do all that work by yourself?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thanks again, ladies. It's, we're real proud of you and proud of what you do, so. Okay, we have another special presentation tonight. And I'm going to bring Chief Hamlin up here, and we have swearing in of some officers tonight, so.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Council. We're going to do a ceremony of swearing in and pinning of the badge of our two recent new officers. And the first officer I'd like to call up would be Cameron Hart. If you'd like to come up with your parents. And I have a small bio for each of them. Officer Cameron Rourke grew up in Centerville, Ohio, and graduated from Archbishop Alter High School in 2010. He then attended Wright State University, where he graduated with a bachelor's degree in history in 2015. Cameron worked in healthcare for 3 years as a coordinator for CompuNet Clinical Labs in Moraine, and where he was the top performer and got a top performer award in 2021. Cameron's passion for the police profession led him to attend the Sinclair Criminal Justice Training Academy in the summer of 2022. He graduated at the top of his class, receiving the gold medal for physical fitness, a silver medal for academic honors, and a silver medal for firearms excellence. Cameron now lives in Bellbrook and is loved and supported by his parents, who are with him tonight, Chris and Cammie Rourke, who live in Mount Vernon, Ohio, and he has two older brothers, Christopher and Corey, who live in North Carolina and Colorado. Cameron accepted the offer to become a full-time police officer for the city of Clayton and has been employed in that capacity since November 21, 2022. Cameron, if you guys would like to stand up and be with him. Mr. Mayor, would you like to swear him in? Hey, sit right next to him.
This is our oath of office. This is for the county of Montgomery, state of Ohio. I do solemnly swear that I will enforce and obey all laws, support and protect the Constitution of the United States, and the Constitution of the state of Ohio, and I will faithfully discharge the duties of officer in the city of Clayton, Montgomery County, state of Ohio, during my continuance in office. Congratulations.
If you'd like to go ahead and pin the badge. And next, our newest officer, Keaton Dennis. Officer Dennis grew up in New Lebanon, where he graduated from Dixie High School and attended the Miami Valley CTC for their criminal justice program. Upon graduation, he shipped to boot camp for the Marine Corps. He also attended the Marine Corps Combat Training and Military Police School, and after returning home, he was then sent to Cuba. Once he returned home from Cuba, he then enrolled into the police academy at Sinclair. He graduated from the police academy and was then hired by the Clayton PD. He was sworn in December 19, 2022. He has a very supportive family, including 5 brothers and his parents, Ricky and Stacy. If you'd like to come up and.
This is your oath of office. Right now, this is the county of Montgomery, state of Ohio. I, Keaton Dennis, do solemnly swear that I will enforce and obey all laws, support and protect the Constitution of the United States, state of Ohio, and I will faithfully discharge the duties of officer in the city of Clayton, Montgomery County, state of Ohio, during my continuance in office. Congratulations.
And last but not least, if Lieutenant DeBelle would stand up. I thought it was worth mentioning tonight that tomorrow, we're going to Lieutenant DeBelle's graduation from CLE, which is the Certified Law Enforcement Executive class from the Ohio Association of Chiefs of Police. That's a big command staff class. It's a 13-month commitment. It's 3 days a month. And he is graduating tomorrow, and me and the city manager get to go up to Columbus and watch that happen. So we should congratulate him.
Congratulations.
If you can, yeah, absolutely. I'm sure they want to take pictures.
All right. Hey, good job, guys. Thank you. Welcome. Okay, those are both really good news presentations, so real proud of all those folks. So we'll move on with the agenda and to the clerk's report.
Work session minutes of January 19th, 2003.
I'll move for approval.
Motion by Mr. Gorman to approve, second by Mr. Henning. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, let the record show that was unanimous.
Council meeting minutes of January 19th, 2023.
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Gorman to accept as written, second by Ms. Kelly. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, and let the record show that was unanimous also. We have no old business, and we have several items of new business here. We have, looks like, we have six resolutions. Will you read the first resolution, please?
Resolution number R2-23-15, a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with John R. Jurgensen for paving of Phillipsburg Union Road between Haber Road and Shaw Road at a total project cost of $438,749.40 and a total cost to the city of Clayton, Ohio, not to exceed $201,922.40.
Mr. Sanders?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This is the second of two MVRPC projects this year. This is Phillipsburg Union Road that runs, this part of the project will run from Haber Road all the way over to the Phillipsburg Corporation limit. So there was two bids received. It was Barrett's and John R. Jurgensen received in for, I think, the millionth time in a row. John R. Jurgensen was the lowest and best bidder. And this project will start in spring.
Just, I guess for just some general knowledge, about how long in mileage is that stretch?
It's a little over a mile. It's about a mile and a half. This project also was a little bit different funding source. Some of the MVRPC projects, as you know, are 80-20, and the city pays 20%. This one is a different funding source, and it actually only pays 40%, and we pay 60%. We did get a little bit more on the front end of it, so it ended up being just a little bit more than 50% that we had ended up having to pay with our engineering.
I'll move for approval.
Second. Motion to approve as written by Mr. Gorman, second by Mr. Bachman. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Okay, let the record show that passed unanimously. Will you read the second resolution, please?
Resolution number R-2-23-16, a resolution providing consent to the Ohio Department of Transportation to complete the project described as bridge repairs on various bridges within the district, including SFN 5705479, MOTIR 7010.620 in the city of Clayton and bearing project ID number 108092.
Randy?
Could you repeat that, please? She did ask me what all those things, structural file number and stuff, and I said, you could just read the SFN, so you did great. This is the bridge over here on Taywood Road over 70. This is the kind of projects we like, the ones that are actually free. The Ohio Department of Transportation pays for these deck replacements out there. I had a little bit of heartburn, as I normally do when they want to close the road, and they have looked at this project and think they will be doing the project under traffic control, so there will be lanes open. So that's my way to work, and that's the way I want it. So,
Any questions or comments for Randy on this one?
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Merkel to approve as written, second by Ms. Kelly. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, let the record show that was unanimous. Will you read the third resolution, please?
Resolution number R-2-23-17, a resolution declaring the necessity of construction street lighting improvements in and assessing annual lighting charges upon lots located within Hunter's Path, Section 1 in the city of Clayton, Ohio.
Mr. Coons?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, City Council. This is pretty familiar. This is very similar to what we just did with Wangerville to Section 3. This is the first step of the process for streetlights. This particular project is at Hunter's Path, Phase 1. The first step of the process is declaring a street lighting resolution of necessity. Once that's declared, then we go through our legal steps, and then we'll come back and actually declare the street lighting district at a following meeting.
Any questions or comments for?
I'll do what
Jeff?
I normally do. Anything involving Hunter's Path, do I need to abstain? Do you recommend I abstain from this?
I would, yeah.
Okay, so can we have a roll call? Oh, yeah, sorry. Motion?
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion to approve by Mr. Henning, second by Mr. Gorman. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Well, we need a roll call, please.
Bachman,
Abstain.
Henning,
Yes.
Gorman,
Yes.
Merkel,
yes.
Kelly,
Yes.
Lieberman,
Yes.
Stevens.
Yes. So let the record show that passed unanimously with one abstention. Will you read the fourth resolution, please?
Resolution number R-2-23-18, a resolution authorizing mutual waiver of 30-day notice of termination provision and further authorizing the city manager to provide written notice of immediate termination of agreement with Branstetter and Carroll Incorporated for professional engineering consulting services and to take such further actions necessary to terminate said agreement.
You want to speak to that?
Yes.
Amanda?
Mayor and council, if you'll recall, in 2021, we entered into this agreement with Branstetter Carroll to do reviews of the new developments that were coming into Clayton. Recently, they have had some staffing changes, they've lost a few people, and they haven't had the capacity to fulfill what we need. I talked to the owner of the company, and we came to a mutual agreement that at this time it's probably best for us to just part ways. I don't want to prejudice council against Branstetter Carroll, they're a great group. It's just they're not meeting the needs that we have right now.
Any questions or comments?
We're going to take your advice on this one, and I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Henning to accept as written, second by Ms. Kelly. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, let the record show that was unanimous. And will you read the fifth resolution?
Yeah, so what you need first is, that's the electric aggregation, whether it's going to be MVCC. There are two separate resolutions that were drafted, one adopting MVCC, one adopting SOPEC. So those are both numbered RO2 2319. So at this point in time, I think we discussed at the last meeting, you will probably have a discussion and decide which one of those resolutions you want to vote to add to the agenda.
There is the presentations from both groups connected to the city manager's report, and then there is also supplemental information that was supplied by SOPEC in an email on the dais for you.
So let's start the discussion.
So I'm in an awkward position. I'm told by Martina that I need to recuse myself because my wife is an officer in the Ohio Association of County Commissioners, which is a participant in the Miami Valley Communications Council. I got that right?
You got it right.
I'm impressed. And so because of that, I'm going to have to recuse myself. I would only suggest that, and I know I'm walking the line here, I would only suggest everybody read everything, including SOPEC's last supplement, before you make a decision. And I don't know that we need to make a decision tonight, but unfortunately, I can't say anything more, or Martina's going to get mad at me.
So there's no problem with recusing you from this, I don't believe. Any other discussion? What's the thoughts on council on this?
Can we do a further discussion on it? I mean, do we have to make the decision tonight, or?
I don't think we have to make it. I would prefer a little bit more discussion, to be honest.
I make a motion, we table the resolution for tonight.
I'll second that.
I would just be curious what other information council would be looking for before you continue discussion.
I just don't know if we've come to a consensus. We got a lot of information from both, but I don't know. I think we probably need to, discuss it a little bit more and come to a little bit more of a consensus. I would.
Have you talked with Inglewood and Trotwood to see what they were maybe going with?
Trotwood is going with MVCC. I think they're holding their public hearings on February 6th. And I think Inglewood is doing the same, but I do not know that definitively.
Anything else?
Tim?
Anything else?
There was the article in the paper not too long ago, just within the last week, about this happening in different communities having these public meetings. And I think when in light, I don't want to be pressed into trying to make a rushed decision. And I think with the fact that this information has shown up this evening, and giving due diligence to both parties as far as their presentations and what it represents, that we given ourselves time to go over this to see what questions this addresses, and then possibly come back maybe at the next meeting, if that be the case, to address it again. But in this time, I don't think I can give fair consideration to both parties. Someone might say, well, you didn't review all the relevant information to make a good decision. I want to make sure that we are in that position. I'll second your motion to table these resolutions until a future time.
So there's a motion to table the resolutions by Mr. Gorman, second by Mr. Merkel. All in favor?
Aye.
I have to abstain.
Roll call, please.
Bachman?
Yes.
Henning?
Yes.
Gorman?
Yes.
Merkel?
Yes.
Kelly?
Yes.
Lieberman?
Abstain.
Stevens?
Yes. So it is unanimous with one abstention, and we'll come back and we'll be prepared to make a better, more informed decision next meeting, okay? All right, thank you. Okay,
Can I just interject one thing here? Stick around, because we may have questions for you that you can address tonight that at least make your visit here this evening worthwhile.
okay, and will you read the sixth and final resolution, please?
Resolution number R-2-23-20, a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with the Kleinger's Group for professional engineering consulting service and at a cost not to exceed $150,000.
This is the companion legislation to R 02-2318. This is the firm that we are requesting you allow us to enter into an agreement with to review plans here in the city.
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion to approve as written by Mr. Gorman, second by Mr. Bachman. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, let the record show that's unanimous. And we'll move on to city manager's report. Amanda?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Just a couple items for you this evening. First, just a reminder, we have our goal-setting session on, or Council has their goal-setting session. I'll be there, but it's your goal-setting session on Sunday, the 5th at 10 a.m. It goes till 2 p.m. We'll do that in the Laveris room. You should have received the agenda from Shiftology. So if you have any questions in the meantime, you can definitely get a hold of me, and I will be happy to help. Well, we have electrical aggregation for the next meeting, so if you could all review the information that you have, and we can make a decision there so we can move things along for our residents. On a note, the Parks Commission, Chris Roll decided that she no longer wanted to serve on the Parks Commission. She had other things going on. The Parks Board has been operating with 8 members. Staff believes that it would be fine to operate with 7. Staff is going to talk to the Parks Board to make sure that that's agreeable to them, and then we'll bring that back to council, and council can make the decision whether or not you want to bring the number of members down to 7 rather than 9. But I will report back to you after the next Park Board meeting on what their decision is. I do have a request, and I know I've been asking for a lot of work sessions, but we have a lot of stuff going on. For a work session on February 16th at 6:30 p.m., Enterprise Fleet Management approached the city well, actually it was before Christmas, about the possibility of doing a leasing program for vehicles. They have their own financing, and it would actually really help the city with cash flow for coming years. So I would like council to be able to just listen to that presentation and kind of digest what they have to say, and then you can make a decision, yay or nay, whether or not you want to move forward and have legislation brought. But I think it's an opportunity. We would be remiss if we didn't at least listen to the presentation. Kevin and I have both sat down with them and talked to them and think it's good for council to hear the presentation. So if that's agreeable, I will get that advertised for February 16th at 6:30 p.m. And then finally, it is tax time. Tax deadline is April 17th, and CCA is once again doing scheduled appointments here at the city building to help our residents. The dates that are available are Friday, March 3rd, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., Wednesday, March 15th, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., Monday, March 27th, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., and Wednesday, March 12th, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. They'll be here in this building, and you can call Eric Hine at 216-857-3174 to schedule an appointment.
Any questions or comments for the city manager?
I just have one. With the Parks Commission being said, usually there's 7 anyways with absentees. So, I mean, that's the way it's always been anyways, correct?
The only thing that I would have is, not necessarily for the city manager, but for Mr. Merkel's. I appreciated him saying that we should maybe have inquiries with SOPEC since they're here tonight, and since they they stated some of the facts that Palmer said in their email. I would almost rather have them, and I wanted to ask everybody, like, should we ask questions while it's on the record? I don't want to engage in a conversation that's off the record that Palmer can't then dispute. So I don't really want to, wait. I don't want to do it afterwards, after we adjourn. I don't want to have any conversations then, because they wouldn't have a chance to go back and forth like SOPEC did in this email. So I just wondered if we should maybe engage with the city manager now and do that, or whatever, Mr. Merkel, you were thinking.
I was just thinking more in line of, if anyone had a question, the individuals are here to be able to ask, rather than delay something for another meeting. They're here. If you have a question, you can ask them a specific question. I'm not at this position of wanting to ask a question. I'm going to look at information first before I start asking questions. But just if you had a question while they're here, you know, hey, they're here, you know, just.
Yeah, this was just.
This was just the individuals that representing the group is here. If you had a question you wish to ask, just for some clarification, they're here.
Yeah.
We're just seeing if they're going to plan on leaving, it's like, you know, stick around, we'll be done, you know, before the executive session.
But you can't have a group asking questions after adjournment.
That's what I
So,
was hinting at.
I think
yeah.
it's probably better to do it on the record for that reason.
So does anybody have any questions they want to ask right now? It would be on the record?
If
as we do that?
council has, if council would prefer, whenever you're deliberating at the next meeting in the open session after you've had time to digest everything that's on the dais, I can get a hold of Jay with MVCC and see if he can have a representative come. And I don't know if you gentlemen will be available at the next meeting, February 16th. And we can do that. That way, there's representatives from both parties. Okay.
Okay, that's what we'll do. That's what we'll do then. Yeah, any questions will be.
Thank you. I just wanted to make sure the record was clear that,
That's
I was
good.
sitting here thinking, I'm like, I know some residents that watch these. I don't want them to, like the gentleman that was here at the last meeting, say, we had conversations off the record. I didn't want that, so thank you.
Good call. Good catch. So,
I just was thinking like Mr. Lieberman and Martina, like an attorney, I guess.
okay, anything else for the city manager? Okay, thank you. And we'll move to visitors' comments. Any comments from any visitors? State your name and address for the record, please.
Earl Harlemer, 6420 Levon Court. Head of your Parks Advisory Commission, I want to invite all the council members Thursday, the 23rd of February, to Meadowbrook Country Club, the most beautiful country club there is. We are having a line dancing party. Starts at 6 o'clock, and that's open bar for Liquid Courage. The dancing starts at 7 and goes to 9. Last time we had this, Willie Williams is going to do the DJing and also dancing with everybody. You'll be surprised with what he can do. And last time we had 65 people there. This time I'm looking for 100. It's been well in the community. I've put flyers out in a lot of different places. I like people to come to look at our beautiful country club. We do have a tremendous country club, and it is, every week it seems to be getting better. Of course, you got Jack and Elaine here, which really work their tails off to make this club this good. So I'd just like to invite you. That's what it looks like. Elaine did this. Oops, Elaine did this, and it'll really bring the people out. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions or comments from any of our other visitors? Okay, thank you. Okay, so we'll go to the council comments. Mr. Bachman, we'll start with you.
Evening, everyone. Don't really have much to add. Just kind of, we start off the meeting with this swearing in of the new officers, and you look at their resumes, and along with what Lieutenant Noble is doing, it's not a surprise why we're one of the safest cities in Montgomery County in the state. And that's just continued improvement and commitment, from really our entire staff, but especially the safety services there. So, always appreciate that and keep up the good work.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Henning?
I also wanted to congratulate Paul on his graduation from Clay. I know that Chief Hamlin is also former program participant, a graduate of it, and I know that it's very respected around the state. So congratulations to him, and congratulations to Officers Rorick and Dennis. I wanted to thank staff for putting the North Money events that are coming up on our social media pages and on the banner out in front of the firehouse. I've had some residents thank us for that, and I had a resident reach out to me last night who is on the committee, and he was so appreciative of it because they've got some engagement from the sign in front of the fire station. So thank you for that. And the police station's Facebook page, I know they've been posting stuff and we've been sharing it, and thank you guys for staying engaged with that also. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Gorman?
I'd just like to welcome the new police officers and wish them the best of luck and safety in their career ahead of them.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Merkel?
I'm going to pass this evening.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Kelly?
Dad?
Thank you. Mr. Lieberman?
So just a brief explanation as to why I had to recuse myself. My wife was president of the Ohio Association of County Commissioners this past year. She's still an officer in that organization. The organization, I think I'm explaining this correctly, has a loose relationship with Palmer and with MVCC on the issue of aggregate electricity. So in my conversations with Martina, we agreed the best thing for me to do would be abstain, but I'm sure that you are going to look at this very carefully and make the right decision. But I just wanted to explain that.
Thank you, sir. I don't really have much else to add. I want to say congratulations to the new police officers and to Paul also. Again, Chief, I think it does explain why, you have such a strong department. These guys they come in, they look like police officers to me, and they look younger and younger, to me, for whatever reason that is, I don't know. But well, something like that. I didn't want to say that, but I'm really proud of them. I met both of them, and just for, don't know them well yet, but they just seem like really quality individuals, and I'm just so happy and proud that we have those gentlemen. The other thing I just wanted to mention, Mr. Coons had put a nice, pretty hefty report on our desks up here, and I clarified with the city manager and with Mr. Coons that it is online. And I'd encourage people to look at this because there's a lot of stuff on here and a lot of really good work. I think this explains a lot of the back story that people don't quite, I wouldn't say they don't understand, they just aren't involved in it. And there's just a lot of work here. Really looks like a good report. So that's all for me. We do have the need for an executive session tonight.
If you wouldn't mind, I did have, one more thing. Sorry, Lindsay. I had one other additional thing. I did want to thank Jack, and I forgot to do it in my remarks. I wanted to thank Jack for presenting last night at Meadowbrook. The city of Clayton hosted the first suburbs meeting, and Jack did a presentation there, and it was really neat for the neighboring municipalities that are members of First Suburbs to hear all the wins that him and Amanda and our team have accomplished since 2016, and they were really blown away with the amount of residential development we have. I know that a couple members were asking like how many residents we anticipated to move into those. Obviously, we don't know that, but they were really, they were very shocked and excited for us about the developments we have. So thank you, Jack, for doing that, and thank you, Amanda and Elaine, for putting your work and hosting that for us yesterday.
Okay, thank you, sir.
I'll make a motion
thanks.
for a short executive session.
We have to state the reason, which is matters pertaining to employment of a public employee.
Mr. Gorman's made the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
A second by Mr. Merkel.
I was more concerned about the short part that I said, Marty.
And can you do a roll call, please?
Bachman?
Yes.
Henning? Gorman? Merkel?
Yes.
Kelly? Lieberman?
Yes.
Stevens?
Yes. Okay. Folks, the audience is excused, I'm sorry to say, but appreciate you coming in. Yeah, that's true. You can stay, come back. Okay, Mr. Gorman made the motion to come out of executive session, and
He'll make a motion to adjourn.
who seconded? Oh, Mr. Henning seconded, so we're back in regular session.
And I move for adjournment.
I second.
And motion to adjourn by Mr. Gorman, second by Ms. Kelly. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, thanks, everyone.